Extra chairs for the dining room table, because here comes the 12-inch car. 12-inch car.
It's Monday.
Hansen.
Must be doing Slingin Dirt. Where's Jack?
Up front, right crap. Hansen pesters the outside, lays it in the cushion, turns the water to
I gotta go get Jack.
Too hard. Over the back he goes.
So we're out here at Jack Prawl's. We got a show to do. Now we got to go in the woods and find Jack. I don't know what he's thinking. It's Slingin Dirt time. Man, it's cold out here. Let's go find him. Jack! Jack! Damn. Jack, we got a show to do. We got champions to talk about. Jack! 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 Oh, I know what I'll do. This ought to get his attention. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on. Where the hell is Jack? Keep looking.
Bud, what the hell you doing?
Don't you, dude, did you forget?
I'm trying to hunt, man. What are you doing?
We have a show to do.
Oh, crap. It is Monday, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Slingin Dirt time. What are you thinking?
Give me a minute. Let me get out of the tree.
Good morning, everybody, and it's another episode of Slingin Dirt. We're at Prawl Lodge, which is down south of Lake Wakanda. Of course, JP3, we all found him screwing around in the woods. I don't know what he was thinking. You know, I was at Joe's. And,
Trying to get a little hunting in.
Yeah. Problem is,
It's a new season, you know.
it's a new season. Needless to say, he did spot one turkey.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Or was that a jackass? I'm not sure.
Yeah. Something. One of those
gobble,
two.
though.
Yeah. Come on. So I tell you what, this week, it's the last week of Slingin Dirt. Man, it's been a fast year.
It went by fast. This week 35 already.
Week 35.
Wow.
This is going to be kind of a short episode here. We're going to talk champions first and foremost. We have a lot of state, track, regional, local champions. We want to give homage to all those that did what we couldn't do. That's to say minor, or at the least. So
No doubt.
No doubt. We're going to have, of course, Songers Says.
Yeah.
Yep, we're going to have one of those. And then we're just going to talk about, what you and I have seen the trends over the course of the year.
Yep, just a yearly recap.
Just a yearly, yeah, that's
between
all.
us and everybody else and all our interviews. And I think the editors even talked about doing a little shenanigans on us too.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but I wouldn't doubt it.
So, not today, but I believe next week, we're going to have some blooper reels, so stay tuned. It's Slingin Dirt right here, presented by Joe's Karting. Hey everybody, welcome back to Slingin Dirt TV. I tell you what, we were informed during break, now that we warmed up, we were informed during break that we are going to have bloopers on today's show. So,
And there's probably a lot of them.
there's a lot of, you and I have not seen these bloopers that they've gotten of us.
We never know when the camera's on or off.
No, one of the things that James Palmer and Aaron Effenbaugh from Creative Element had mentioned that a lot of times during the takes when we talk, well, they just leave the camera on unbeknownst to us, so God only knows what's out there.
No
We're
telling.
gonna look like the world's biggest goobers that ever.
Bigger goobers than we already are.
Yeah, or bigger goobers than what we already are. Tell you what, it's been a long season. It's 35 weeks here in Slingin Dirt. As much as we love our listeners and our viewers, we're ready to take a break. You need to get in the woods.
I do.
I'm getting ready for Vegas, coming down here in the pipeline in the next couple weeks. Outside of that, there are some other racetracks that I wanted to hit, but I think Vegas is going to be it. That's it. So, and then I'm done for the year, and then of course we start going into each other's cars and
we'll tear down and we'll update.
We were talking about
we'll
that.
Fix. Yeah, we do a lot of information sharing and stuff like that, and see what we can improve on. And
if there's anything, or first and foremost, I want to tell you, we're going to get to Champions Row here in a little bit, so stay tuned with us. But the one thing I want to get into is during the course of the season, what has been the biggest trend that you've seen on these cars, whether it be a sport model, late model, hobby stock?
the biggest trend, I think, well, we discussed it, obviously it's got to be the crate versus the open motors. People are starting to change the way they think, or you have to change,
Yep.
you're kind of forced to change, whatever. I'm in that same position where I'm looking at going to a crate because it's hard to be competitive with an open motor, but then you see these guys are winning championships with open motors all of a sudden. You know,
Yeah.
and then we talked about track conditions. It was a weird year for weather, so, you know, obviously
This springtime was horrible.
it was just crazy. I mean,
Tracks underwater, we're getting 7 inches of rain.
You know.
I mean, you know, and we see a lot of that every year. The one thing I've noticed, you know, and you and I have talked off camera about this. Everybody knows I've got that new Razor now, and the technology built into that car. You know, I'm from an old school where, you know, I started racing in '94 at Eagle Raceway. And so even though technology is always evolving, a lot of the same principles in my mind, and maybe this is the wrong way of putting it, but a lot of the same principles year after year after year after year, you know, stay the same. Well, now my Razor's a 2012, you know, so here it is 12, 13, 14, 15, going into 16, it's going to be 5 seasons old. And the amount of technology built into this car versus what I had, I just missed the information highway for the last 5 years.
Well,
and so when I was telling you, I was like,
yeah,
I'm looking at this, I'm looking at that, I'm like, oh my God.
well, and that's just it. You know, there's guys that out there that are just getting into racing.
Yep.
And they're running some of these older cars, and there's guys like me who can't afford to go buy a new fancy car like you can, and so I just kind of update mine. But then
Yep.
you start to see there's a point where that technology shuts off on one car.
Even
and
on
you
an
have
update.
to, yeah, you have to move to a different chassis eventually if you want to be competitive.
Yeah, I've noticed this year, I agree with you. I think in the mods, sport mods, hobby stocks, I still think overall the crate rules the roost, but you've seen more open motors win championships. Now, I'm not going to say it's 50-50. I don't think that at all. I think it's still 80-20. 80% of the championships are being won by crates. But I think if you would have gone to a year or two ago, I think there was more crates winning championships then than what there is now. But I think guys like Kevin Stowa with KSC Engineering, he's making one hell of a open motor. Jamie Stallner loves him. Carl's Performance, they're making some great open motors right now. I am really interested to see what the rules package is going to be coming out for 2016.
I was just going to say that they've got to level the playing field somewhat, depending, you know, whether you're
and
IMC
we're talking
or
sport mods,
NASCAR.
modifieds in that area.
You know, yeah. I mean, it's blatantly obvious that there's an advantage. You know, just IMCA, for example, you know, running a crate and a 4-barrel versus an open with a 2-barrel. You know, those kind of things. They just need to. I understand why they do it because they're not exactly sure what's going on, but I mean they've got enough time under their belt now. They should have a good feel for.
I disagree with that. I think IMC does know what's going on. They've talked about in the past. You know, they've put cars on the chassis dynos. They've ran the dynos with the open and the 2-barrel versus the crate and the 4-barrel. I don't think they just came out right and said, "Hey, just go do this," and "Hey, go."
Why don't they just say, "Okay, y'all got to run the chip." And be done with it. Y'all run 4-barrels, y'all run the chip. Doesn't matter whether it's an open motor or a crate motor. You know, 6250, 6250.
Or 6200.
You know, whatever.
Yeah.
They set it at, and then, you know, if they want to, you know, start tearing boxes apart, which they started doing.
Yeah, they started
people
doing that.
cheat and stuff like that.
Yep.
Well, you know, so be it. It's just one less thing for them to have to change. It's one less thing for us guys that run open motors. You know, to not have to swap carburetors around and go in different tracks with different sanctioning bodies and things like that. It'd be nice to just be able to, you know, leave it alone and get it set right and go.
Overall, amongst all classes, what do you think was the most competitive class this year?
That's
That's a tough.
That's a tough one. I thought, the hobbies were super competitive. I mean, the sport mods were super competitive.
Yep.
The modifieds were super competitive. The sport compacts were even.
Josh Most told me earlier this year, in the modifieds, and especially the sport mods, and he knows firsthand, we've seen a lot of wrecks and a lot of torque equipment. While some of that was due to, I guess, bad driving on some of the drivers' parts, a lot of that, ironically, was because the playing field is so even. When you look at a lot of the sport mods, probably 3/4 of the field are all crate motors now. Everybody's running the same RPM. It's that close, it's that competitive. The only way you're going to move through the field, I'm not saying you're going to move through the field by driving through someone and turn them around, but when you go into the corners 2 and 3 wide, some of these tracks you have to lift off the throttle, and you're going to have to suck it up and let them get by you, or you're going to have to try to bonsai it and try to get around
Well,
them.
and see, that's
Josh and I were talking about it. He goes, it's so competitive, it's so close. That's where a lot of the stuff gets. That's where a lot of the trouble happens.
it is.
Yeah.
And that's that's kind of why the whole open motor thing. It's the same thing. What happens when you take an open motor and you say, okay, you can run a 4-bar, but you got to run a chip. So now you just took all the claimer motors and put them in the same pile with the crate motors, and you got that tight racing again. Nobody has an advantage, and that's you know as well as I do. I call you Captain Gray Area for a reason. Those gray areas are no, I'm not talking about that either. Those gray areas are where guys win and lose races.
Yeah.
And they're just pushing everybody right into the blatant gray area now. So
Yeah.
But you do tear up a lot of stuff when there's that closer racing. But everybody's responsible for their own actions. But a lot of times track conditions do come into play when that stuff happens. But you get a rough, ruddy track and tight racing, you're going to have wrecks.
I think, in my personal opinion, right, wrong, or indifferent, I think the most competitive class this year, and I think it's been the most competitive class for several years. And I'm not saying that none of the other classes are competitive, because, oh my God, you put Grabowski, Smith, Sabine, Abelson in a race, you got a hell of a race. You put Cooney, Akers, DeFrance, you put guys like that, your Dailies, your, they're out of, I can't think of them, I can see them. The Eckerts, you put those guys in a race. You got a hell of a late model race. Then you go to your hobby stocks. Every class is super competitive. But I think overall the most competitive class, the IMCA stock cars. That is a fun class. There's no crates in the class.
Right.
It's all open motors.
Right.
It's basically, in my opinion, and if Tom Gutowski sees this, I'm not saying it is what it is, but I refer to them to the A mods, whereas the hobbies would be the sport mods. The stock cars and the hobbies they have some really good cars, some really good drivers. They probably kick my butt in a sport mod any day of the week, Adam Armstrong being one of them. But when it comes to those IMCA stock cars, you go to any track that runs those.
They're always fun to watch.
They're fun to watch.
They're the ones that take you back to the roots of NASCAR. That's, you picture the old time cars, on the beach.
I watched Mike Nichols, 3-day show at Cornerster Classic. You had to run all 3 days to really make it into the big show. Now, Mike Nichols, he showed up on Sunday, ran, I think, the C feature or B feature, started dead last, whooped him. Came back to the A feature, started dead last, whooped him. Now I'm like, when you get to see Mike Nichols drive a car and really watch what he does on the track, he is such a textbook driver, and he's one of the nicest guys you can meet, but to really get to watch Mike Nichols drive a stock car is quite the honor. He's a hell of a good guy. Then you got guys in the hobby stocks. You go down a class to the hobby stocks, and you got, everybody's, whatever you want to call it, Jamie Songer. So, Jamie Songer, he's a great driver. You got Adam Armstrong, Shannon Anderson. Shannon Anderson. The future is so bright, and Jamie and I talked about this on the show a few weeks ago. The future is so bright. You look at all the classes. Here locally, I would think the number one driver that sticks out in my mind, I don't know if that's good or bad, would be the Cronings. And I'm not exactly for sure which Cronin. All I know is they're like guppies. There's 100 of them out there.
And they're running all over the place too.
Yeah, and Larry Cronin, I think he won the Cornerstone Classic. I think
He
Larry
did. He won the Cornerstone Classic
in the
and he
McCool,
just- in the
McCool,
100, but
yep.
he got DQ'd.
But he got DQ'd.
I don't know why, but
Yeah, neither do I. But he crossed the checkered flag, first.
Yeah.
So, but Larry's got it going on. The Cronins have got it going on. Melissa Cronin, she's hilarious to follow on Facebook. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah. Me and Melissa are pretty tight.
Yeah, she is so vocal on Facebook. Yeah.
Between her and Amanda Riley, they call it like they see it.
They do.
The ladies and Mary Lentz. The ladies are racing Shaylee Bay. They all kicked butt this year too. The girls.
Yeah.
They did good.
Who would have thought 5 or 6 years ago we would have seen this huge influx of ladies in racing? And 5 or 6 years ago when we really saw the influx, and I'm going to go a little bit farther than that, because I'm going to think 2006, 2007, there was ladies getting in it. And back then, a lot of guys were like, yeah, we're going to beat her. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it didn't.
Well, I mean, look at the girls at I-80 in the sport compacts. Lindsay Tyson.
Lindsay Tyson, yep.
They were battling right down to the end of the
You
points
look at
championship.
most of the women around the Omaha, Council Bluffs regional area, most of the girls out there are not slouches. Shaylee Bay,
no.
she's pretty good. Lindsay Tyson almost won a feature like 4 or 5 times this year, I think. She finished, third in points?
Second or third,
Second or third in points. She's always up there at front. Erica Cronin, she's done pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of who else. Oh, Tiffany Bittner out of Norfolk in the hobby stocks. She's done really good.
Yeah, Mary Lentz has been
Mary
good.
Lentz.
She's
Mary
traveling
Lentz.
over.
She hasn't won a lot of races, but she's very rarely in the back.
Oh,
she's
God.
mixing it up up front with the boys.
She's
so.
consistent.
Yep.
And she's a good, smooth driver.
Very, very smooth.
She's not gonna run you off the track or nothing like that. But she
And very
will.
humble. Very humble.
humble. But she will. If you get her in the wrong way, she's gonna get you back. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, I know. I've seen her do that. I was like, go girl, that's cool. So, I want to, we want to know from your standpoint, what do you think have been some of the biggest trends that you've seen in racing develop this year? Do you have some young women that are up and coming in your area? Give a shout out to them because, look, I might race against Mary Lentz, but when she's in that car, I don't think if she's a woman or a guy. She's just another driver.
Good driver.
And I've got
she's a good driver, and I know she's hard to get around.
I gotta. When we say she's hard to get around, it's not because she's like this.
No,
she's competitive
fast.
and she's fast.
Yep.
So, but who are some of the ladies that are out in your area? But tell you what, we're gonna be a smooth operator. We're gonna go to a commercial break real quick. And we're gonna talk to the folks that help put this show on. So this is Slingin' Dirt, presented by Joe's Karting. We'll be right back.
At Kaziski Auto Parts Team PRP, this is where everything starts with our quality control, staying clean, and everything is organized right here in the teardown. At Kaziski Auto Parts, in our Step 2 process, this is where our guys take the engines and trannies out. They power wash and make sure everything tests good and clean so you have no problems for your vehicle. This is Step 3 at Kaziski Auto Parts. This is where everything, again, is organized, put on the shelf properly, tagged right. And if you notice how clean everything is, so it suits you, because we're not a junkyard, we are a recycled auto parts store. This is our last and final step here. This is the shipping and receiving. This is the last part where the part gets checked one last time, so 3 people will touch your part before it goes out the door, packaged properly, and sent right to your door. Kaziski Auto Parts Team PRP. We have over 1,000 cars in stock a year, over 1,000 engines and trannies. Give us a call anytime, 402-731-4592. Any one of our 10 salesmen can help you at any time.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Slingin Dirt TV. Slingin Dirt, of course, everybody knows it's presented by Joe's Karting. Joe's Karting, the only place to race where the only restriction is how slow you are.
Not anymore.
Hey. I can prove how slow you are.
Really?
Yep. So where were you this morning when we needed to come over here to do the show?
I wasn't sleeping. I was actually doing something productive.
Really? Because last time I looked, if you watched the video, you almost had an arrow pointed at me.
Yeah, probably deserved it.
Well, when you walk around doing turkey calls.
I'm deer hunting, you moron. You're out there calling like a turkey.
Well, I know you though. If a coon was to walk by, you'd get all excited.
Probably.
Yeah, see? So I know what you're like in the stands. So anyways, one of the things we've been talking about here at Slingin Dirt over the course of the year, let's talk about our bloopers.
Really?
Yeah, let's talk about the bloopers for a little bit. Jack and I, we talked earlier. We didn't know that they left the cameras running from time to time. And I know James and Aaron have both told us, well, you guys ought to see how you do this. I know James for one. Man, you ought to hear you guys when you're trying to direct a shoot. He's like, it's funny. And I was like,
I forget
really?
about the stuff that we shoot, not even what the stuff they shoot.
Well, yeah, so we actually incriminate ourselves from time to time.
You're not talking about two of the sharpest tools in the shed here to begin with, so.
No, I may not be the sharpest tool in the shed, but at least I can dig a hole. You're about as dull as a wooden broom handle. At least I got some kind of a point to me. Maybe not, I don't know. But I tell you what, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go and we're gonna see what they put together. So here's our little bloopers montage. Let's see what they come up with, because we haven't
seen it, so we don't know.
So
Here we go.
Here we go.
To the bloopers.
All right, rolling. When you guys are ready.
Where are we at?
Saunders.
Whenever you're ready, start.
Whoa! Look at that
Whoa.
floating t-shirts. Awesome. What do we got this week, bud?
I don't know, but man, that's a good looking hand right
It
there.
is. Hand model.
You got it right. Wasn't there a show, Adam's Family, that had that?
The hand, the thing.
Yeah, the thing. What was that, like Slingin Dirt's version of it?
I think so.
Cut. I'm sorry. I saw Palmer girl at the side.
So, lawn moment.
Yeah. Holy crap.
Were we going to break?
I thought we were.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's cut.
We're running out of time, so I think we probably ought to wrap it up. So until next week, we'll strap in and keep slinging dirt.
We'll sling some.
Away from the vehicle. How's the car? Totaled. Just like the normal driver, right?
That was a pretty dumb move.
Damn, buddy, Ray Jones got in my way.
Hey everybody, it's Bob. We're going to talk to our 3 sponsors. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. We're right back. Right back. And we'll be right back from talking with our 1 sponsor.
Good. You want to redo it or?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
That was a blooper.
Well, buddy, I think we've jabbered on long enough and enough further ado-s, and I'll tell you what, so...
I tell you what, stay tuned. We'll be back next week with another show of Slingin Dirt.
Crazy ass.
Well, I tell you what, don't look to the sides. Look.
Tell you up, at least look.
Did you say I'll tear you up or I'll tell you up?
I don't know. I'll tell you what, we'll have to figure that out. So, anyways, guys, thanks for watching.
Screw you! Screw you! You don't
Hey guys, we got a show to do.
Hey guys, welcome back to Slingin Dirt TV.
Donuts? She said coffee.
That's like saying I'm gonna go to the gas station, use Dr. Pepper, and come back with a 12-pack of Bud Light.
Alright.
All right, we are rolling, guys.
Alright.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another week of Slingin Dirt TV presented by Joe's
Wait,
Karting.
just stop.
Start over.
Yeah, there was 2 bugs in that already.
Actually, can we redo that?
Yep. Let me cut. So.
Hey, welcome back to
Sorry. I said okay.
Yeah.
Like I'm getting ready.
Oh, Aaron, really?
I will tell you when I am ready to just say okay so I know when to hit record.
Yeah, shit. Good story. I know what I was trying to do.
Alright.
Coming out of the intro graphics, and I'm rolling on both when you're ready.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Slingin TV.
You just start me down.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Joe's car.
Roll.
The camera seems high.
I'm good. Hi. I'm tired.
When you're ready.
Hey everybody. That's wow.
God.
I'm
I'm not responsible for my actions.
many people know that I'm a talker.
Really?
I don't know what to say. This is some funny, good stuff. I didn't know we did some of this stuff.
I'm speechless.
I have nothing.
Well, if you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at? So anyways, those Aaron and those guys, Corey, she probably had to sit through a zillion hours of footage just to find 2 minutes of us being stupid, which is not hard. But
The only thing I'm asking myself was, if we had $1 for every time I said, I tell you what, we'd be millionaires. If we had $1 for every time somebody or one of our viewers said, what the hell to something we said, we'd own the earth.
yeah, probably. And we're every time we get in an argument, that's worth about $100 a piece, probably.
Oh, that's $100, yeah.
Usually lasts
yeah.
2 to 3 days, and then by Monday we're all good again.
People are going, save it for the show, save it for the show. So
yeah, they don't want to see some of them conversations.
no, they don't. So
It's worse than being married.
yeah,
Not that being married's bad, honey.
yeah, because you'd be my wife if we were married.
I'm not going there.
Okay, yeah, good point. Yeah, okay, okay. Anyways, moving on.
Yeah, let's move to something more racing oriented.
Yeah. Champions. I've asked everybody to email me champions. I got quite a few champions sent in. We wanted to pay homage. I went out and I found a lot of state, local, regional, national champions. What's ironic was that when I went on Facebook and I made the post about looking for champions, some of you drivers went out and sent me your pictures, but I think some of the drivers are not really, all excited about getting all the glory and the fame and all that about winning a championship. And a lot of people are
That's
like,
understood. Just being humble.
they're being humble. And some people are like, it's just a track championship, but don't worry about it. But they have fans.
Sure. And
So probably 3/4 of the pictures that I've got sent in
are from the fans.
are from the fans telling me this is so-and-so. They won a championship at Beatrice or they won a championship at US 30. I was like, that is awesome.
Yep.
That is so awesome. So I tell you what, before we're going to close out the show straight with the champions montage, as I call it. With that being said, going into next year, we're going to be back. We're going to take a little hiatus. We need to recharge our batteries big time. I think next year when you see us, over the course of the winter, when you go to the Slingin TV Facebook page, it's not like we're going to shut down all the
Oh, no. You're going to
no.
see little video segments here
Yep.
and some things that we run across during the winter. And there's some things we'll probably save for future shows. But, don't tune us out by any means. Just
we got
won't be a show, but there'll still be a Facebook page and all that stuff.
We got the Racing with the Stars
Racing
coming
with
up.
the
We're going to
Stars.
have a lot of drivers at the Racing with the
Yeah.
Stars. I might even do some footage from the Racing with the Stars and put it right up on the Facebook page. So even though this is the last show for 2015 and 2016, we will be back. We don't know exactly what date yet. We got to wait for all the track schedules to come out and all that. That it's really heavily dependent on that.
Track
So-
schedule, sponsorship,
Oh,
all
yeah.
those things that we have to put. There's a lot that goes into
Speaking
putting it
about sponsorship, I want to say thanks to all of our sponsors
Absolutely.
this year. Without the sponsors, we could not have done this show. Trust me, there's a lot of work. Me and Jack, we sit in front of the camera, but the crew at Creative Element, first and foremost, thank you to you guys. Jamie Songer at Supreme Lawn and Landscape. You know, he's been very, very instrumental. Kaziski Auto Parts, Team PRP, they've been very, very instrumental. Everybody's worked together. Joe's Karting, Rich at Joe's Karting. So next year, if you want to be, and I know that there's quite a few of you out there, because you've talked to me, you've called me. If you want to be on Slingin Dirt, just email me at buddyj, B-U-D-D-Y, letter J, at joeskarting.com. And, you know, we can set something up.
Yeah, or get a hold of me if you're over in my area.
Absolutely.
You know, don't be afraid to get a hold of me on Facebook, or you get jprall@windstream.net. You know, you can send me anything like that, because we talk and swap all information. So
now you have had this question asked of you 100 times this year, and so have I. How many people? This is kind of shocking. We were looking at the Facebook stats. How many people, you know, see, hear, read, watch something on Facebook, you know, with Slingin Dirt? And I was telling you the other day, 379,000, all over the world. So I think we were pretty excited if we got 1,000 people to watch us.
Well, you know me, I'm like technology, what do you call it? I just don't have any at my house, because all we have is dial-up at 28.8, so that's like caveman stuff. So even your cell phone is really all the technology we have to get information about that Facebook stuff. You know, and then you tell me, you know, we've got all these hundreds of thousands of viewers, and I don't get to see that, so I don't know. So I'm like, oh, we got 3,600 likes, woohoo! Yeah. 3,601, woohoo!
Woo! 3,602, woohoo!
You know, one video got 700 views, woo! You know?
Yeah, so we really, really want to say thank you to all of our viewers, everybody that follows us on Facebook. I know we've had a lot of people come out and see us at the track, a lot of people.
And really, we enjoy when you come out. If we're at the track and you come out and see us we really enjoy that, because not only do we enjoy it as a racer and drivers, we enjoy it from doing the show too, because
absolutely.
We know we're, people just like to come see you, and whether you're a race car driver, a fan, or just somebody that watches Slingin Dirt because you're a family member and forced to watch it, whatever, we appreciate everybody giving us feedback and telling us, what you think and things like that. And of course, we always get asked, for T-shirts and things like that.
Yeah, one of the things that we do want to work on for next year is T-shirts for everybody. The one thing I do want to ask everybody, I know I've called Creative Element from time to time. I've talked to a lot of racers. What are some of the things, now that we've got 4 or 5 months, there's some things that we want to change on the show, but we got 5, 6, maybe 7 months before we do Slingin Dirt for 2016. What are some of the things that you'd like to see us incorporate, and maybe something you don't want to have back? Give us some feedback, give me some feedback. Once again, just email me at buddyj@joeskarting.com. We'll listen to any and all. I know we're going to have a production meeting here in the next few weeks, so I want to take your thoughts. It's your show. We do this for you guys. It's our sport. We're just trying to shed some light on it. So, in closing, once again, just thank you to everybody. But get back to the basics here. The Champions montage. What an incredible year. Everybody is well deserved. These championships were hard fought.
Nobody gives you a championship. That's the first thing. It doesn't matter what class you're in. Those guys earned it. And They deserve to be recognized, whether they want to be recognized or not. If their fans recognized them, here's your 3 minutes of glory or whatever.
Absolutely. So, in closing, we'll be back Spring Nationals next year. We will cover that. Slingin Dirt will be back for Beatrice Spring Nationals, Beatrice, Nebraska. But here is your list of champions via class, track, and all that good stuff in no particular order. Here's your champions for 2015. See ya next year.